Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Massively Rewind, a show recapping this week's top stories on Massively.com. I'm your host, Richie Procopio, and I promise this will be more fun than drinking bleach. DC Universe Online is getting a new power set and a bunch of other new stuff thanks to this week's War of the Light DLC. Technically, it's War of the Light Part 1, with Part 2 scheduled to follow soon, TM. Anyhow, if you're a DCUO Legendary member, you're probably already playing around with the new PvP characters, the new 4-player operations, the new Rage powers, and the Blue Lantern Core. If you're not a Legendary member, you'll have to wait till January 28th to get your hands on the new content, and you'll also be forced to watch that Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie at least twice. Pay the sub fee. Trust us. DCUO Online isn't the only AAA MMO getting fresh content this week. Guild Wars 2 received its long-awaited Origins of Madness patch, and Aion has some new content of its own to look forward to on January 28th. That's next Wednesday for those of you keeping score at home. NCSoft's latest expansion is called Steel Cavalry. Wait, wasn't that a Patrick Swayze movie? Never mind. Steel Cavalry will add 2 new instances, new skills, and oh yeah, giant walking mech suits to the dreamy high fantasy world of Atria. Now normally we would take a moment to just point and laugh, but this is the same Aion who's already implemented chainsaws, lightsabers, and giant utensil weapons, so these Steel Cavalry additions will feel right at home. So WildStar. It's been in the news a lot recently, wouldn't you agree? Carbine's latest livestream featured Stalker class designer Jade Martin talking about the Stalker. It's a stabby, stealthy skulker of an archetype that should please the throngs of you out there that like Batman, Predator, Wolverine. In other WildStar news, Massively's own Justin Olivetti shared a few tips for surviving the newfangled action combat no auto attack telegraph thing. Check out his how-to article this week in our WildStar category. Our final piece of WildStar news is all about boobs! They're shrinking! And no, you can't have a slider because one boob size must fit all. But really, no one cares or makes ridiculously offensive comments about the size of video game character boobs anyway, right? Right? And now, for a special report on the Rakghoul Plague in Star Wars The Republic, I throw it over to our field correspondent Kat Wilder reporting live from Alderaan. Kat?
Thank you, Richie. I'm standing here inside the starport outside of Thule Palace on Alderaan, where citizens are attempting to flee the planet because of the resurgence of the deadly Rakghoul Plague. I stopped by the local Thorn Triage Center where the doctors were busy attempting to save some patients from certain death. One of the doctors took a moment to speak with me.
Dr. Leah Russell, Thorn Emergency Aid Management. I'm in charge of keeping this zone secure, which is getting dicier by the minute.
Can you tell me more about the situation here?
We have to stop the spread, and that means putting down Rakghouls. Biggest concentration of Rakghouls is underground. Bad as things are up here, it's a nightmare down in the tunnels.
How do I get to these tunnels you speak of?
Use the spike. It's a giant drill Thorn uses to get at subsurface Rakghoul populations. You'll know it when you see it. Best of luck to you. And don't get bit.
We set out to King's Pass in the southern part of the main continent of Alderaan. There we found the spike, the giant drill used to access the planetary core. As I was interviewing the troops overseeing the elimination of the Rakghoul Plague, it seemed as if I were reliving scenes from an alien horror film. Starting with this over-enthusiastic Marine.
Another glorious day in the Corps. Day in the Marine Corps is like a day on the farm. Every meal's a banquet. Every paycheck a fortune. Every formation a parade. I love the Corps!
Even when I continued to discuss the plague with other troops who were less than thrilled to be here, the alien horror theme continued.
Oh, dear Lord Jesus, this ain't happening, man. This can't be happening, man. This isn't happening.
I say we take off, nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
I hate this job.
But when I asked about the troops not being able to use explosive rounds because of the possible infection, the parody was complete.
Hey, what the hell are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language? Vasquez, have you ever been mistaken for a man?
No. Have you?
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
There you have it, Richie. The latest from Ground Zero of the Rakghoul Plague. Reporting from Alderaan, this is... This is Kat Wilder. I'm not getting sick, I swear.
Who's a good puppy? Who's a good puppy? Ladies and gentlemen, Cat Wilder reporting live from Alderaan. Shh. Zip. Well, there you have the top stories for the Massively Rewind for the week ending January 24th, 2014. Don't forget to go to Massively.com every single day for all of your MMO news, and I will now exit while gargling the tune of I'd Like to Visit the Moon, because that just seems like the thing to do. Take care, everybody. DC Universe Online is getting a new power set and a bunch of other new stuff thanks to this week's War of the Light DLC. Dog. DCUO isn't the only AAA MMO swimming in fresh content this week. Guild Wars 2 received its long-awaited Origins of Madness patch, and next week Aion gets to do its own thing. They get to jump around and get some new content, jump around and get some new content. Say it again! Say it again! Our final piece of WildStar news is all about boobs! I can't even say that. Our final piece of WildStar news is all...